Neville knows, Neville knows, Neville knows. Oh, what Neville knows, then you will know, because you don't know what Neville knows. Neville knows what you don't know, and so you will know what Neville knows. When what Neville knows, then you will know, because you don't know what Neville knows. Neville knows what you don't know, and so you will know what Neville knows.
Welcome back. All right, so we've done all the polishes and what they're used for and how we're going to use them best on our little loved ones, our cars. The golden rule of washing a car is never wash it in the sun. When you wash a car in the sun, it tends to dry out the soap and bubbles quicker than what you can get to the back of the car with. So rather pick a shady spot, let the car stand in the shade for a while, and then you commence with your car wash. Now when I do a car wash, in my mind's eye, I divide the car into sections. Because you find a lot of times the guy starts off enthusiastically and he washes the car. Then he does a waxing or polish, and when he gets to the back, the front has started to dry, and it's quite a battle to get it off. So what I do is I section my car. Normally I'll start on the roof. So in this case, my little car, I'd start washing it here. Also, when you start washing, wash the car or rinse it off with a hose pipe. Then you have your bucket with your soap suds and your sponge. In this hand, I keep the hose pipe, and while wetting the roof, I have the sponge, and I give it a sponging and rinsing at the same time. Problem is, if you don't rinse the car off with a hose pipe while washing the car, you'll find that when you take the bucket up and you pick up all the grime and grit that's laying on this roof, and you start wiping it in, you'll start getting what they call circles. It's like almost like an LP, if you remember the old days. You get all these little swirls of the paint and the grime being rubbed in together. So what we do is we do long, even strokes like this with the sponge, with the hose pipe running, and we try and get all the nonsense off the car. The reason why we start with the top of the car is because all this rubbish that runs down, it's pointless. You're starting on the side and then you move to the roof. So this is your starting point, and this is what we get sorted out first. Once you've sponged the car and it's all clean, rinse again with a hose pipe, take a chamois, and then in the same moment, you do these long movements and drying the car up and down. Once that is completed, now you get to the liquid polish. Now liquid polish we use almost like a buffing agent. What we'll do is we'll take liquid polish, and any bird droppings, scratches, marks that you can't get out of the car, you actually can take it out with a bit of a buffing. Actually, don't go too hard and actually grind it in, but over time it will come out. But just give it a nice polish and do this section. Then you take it off with a nice, we got those static cloths I showed you earlier. We give it a nice wipe down and take all that oxide, dead paint off and all the markings that have been bothering you. Now there's always a confusion between liquid and wax. Liquid is very much so for buffing purposes. Wax is a protective coating. That all that hard work that you've just done, the wax coats it. The good news is you only need to wax your car 2 to 3 times a year. What we'll do is we'll take a cloth, once you've wiped off the polish, now we start with the wax. Again, with the same kind of movement. What we're trying to do is create, because with a broader stroke and movement like this, you'll not see the evidence of these little circles when the guy is trying to clean the car. Okay, so we do these long strokes, and then we do the roof of the car finished. Likewise, when you've done that, you move to the next section. So if you're going to wash your car, you just want to clean outside, so the roof, the bonnet, the boot, and the sides. So if you want to do a proper wash on the car, you start off inside the car. Get all the scuffing marks off the doors, clean the consoles, on the dashboard, any marks and dirt that you might have. I sometimes use a little 12mm brush, take a paintbrush and clean out the air vents. I even sometimes use a little earbud. I know it sounds pedantic, but if you're going to do a job, let's do it right. We clean out in the console where the screws go in to secure the console down. We clean them out as well, using a little earbud, get all that, because you know what, when you're sitting in the car and you eat in the car, you can't believe where the food goes. So you give the inside a nice clean, you get the leather care for the seats, dashboard and the side panels, and you can give the carpets a nice vacuum. If you have roof mats in the car and you want to have them cleaned, the stain remover that we have over there that you use on carpets, spray it, give it a nice hand scrub, and even if you're in mommy's good books, you can put it in the wash machine and gets a nice agitation going and cleans the mats out. Then just simply leave them in the sun and they will clean up nicely. Okay? Once you finish the car, we've done the inside, and now you've decided you're doing a proper wash. So you've done the inside, you've done the outside, you do the windows. The window cleaner and you do the windows. I always just leave the windows open slightly after washing the car, of course, because you get a white film that builds up across the top here. which is actually from the window never being cleaned, and it lays in these channels. So you open it slightly and just with a cloth give the window a nice clean here, and it removes that dead white, sort of like a dusty stain that is left on the glass. From there, of course, we can go down, we can progress further, we can do the tires, we can do the rims. But then again, depending on how enthusiastic you are and what kind of result you want in your car, we'll get to that a little bit later on, how ready to clean a tire. But for now, just a black tire polish and a good wipe of the mag or a good spray with mag cleaner, and I think your little car will be quite shiny and good to go. Okay, so once you've done all that, you've got your little car clean, she should be good to go. What we're going to do now is we're going to clean this car proper, although it's pretty clean at this point in time. We're going to give it a good clean, and when you come back, you'll see the difference, because a good clean on a car can add huge to the way it looks. It makes it more modern, looks fresh, it looks clean, it looks like a brand new car. So we'll be back just now, we'll show you what we've done. All right, we're back. So I said to you we were going to take a little bit of time to polish up that little Beetle. Now remember I said to you how you can make a car look young? This little Beetle, it's a 1971 1600. We spent a bit of time on it, we've polished it, we gave it a darn good clean. And if you have a look at it now, you tell me if it looks any better than what it did originally. I mean, since we've cleaned it, the shiny hubcaps look like they were hidden with the dirt. It's actually mag wheels. We've got these little windshields that they put on it. We didn't even reveal that. It had a sunroof that was so dirty we couldn't even pick up the sunroof. Once we applied a little bit of elbow grease, we've done a proper clean on the car. It absolutely looks fantastic. Now that's just joking. You know there's obviously another car. I've spoken to some guys at car shows, and I do spend a lot of time cleaning my cars. And the guys on the shows say they can spend anything from 1.5 hours inside a car cleaning and to 3.5 hours on the outside. Now I don't know what they do inside the car for 1.5 hours. I don't know how much more you could clean. I mean, clean is clean, but these guys really go the extra mile. The real petrolheads, they get so involved in their cars, they just don't know when to stop. When you clean your car or you've finished cleaning your car, I've got a challenge for you. Clean your car for 2 weeks, 2 weekends. Give it all you got. And you see how hard it is to break that habit. Once you've cleaned your car, you even tend to drive differently. You tend to drive a lot more smoother. And wherever you go, and people are commenting on your car and how what it does, how well it looks. I tell you what, I start cleaning cars and every weekend I got to do one of my cars. We find a lot of times, I can actually tell you a story about the traffic department. They see a clean car coming down the road, they have to stop you. Guy comes out and he gives you the slow down, he walks up to you and he doesn't say, license please, can I walk it, taillights, hooter. He walks up to you and says, is this car for sale? Would you like to sell it? Here's my details, please get back to me. I don't think I've had anyone look at my license disc in years. Actually, I must look at my license disc. I don't think I've looked at it. But anyway, when you get a car and you keep it clean, keep it nice and tidy, it is always such a pleasure. And people notice. And people also respect your car in the parking lot. They give you the wider berth. You look after your car, it will always look after you. Till later. Thanks a lot.
Neville knows, Neville knows, Neville knows. Oh, what Neville knows, then you will know, because you don't know what Neville knows. Neville knows what you don't know, and so you will know what Neville knows. When what Neville knows, then you will know, because you don't know what Neville knows. Neville knows what you don't know, and so you will know what Neville knows.